Hey listeners, happy Friday to you. You know what time it is. It is time for another episode of Mental Breakthrough. So thank you again for tuning in. I'm your host, Zandy Evans. For those of you that do not know, I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I practice throughout the state of North Carolina. And I bring you the Mental Breakthrough show so we can talk through areas of mental health and relationship health so that we continue to develop and unlock the best parts of ourselves, knowing that we can still grow and not stay stuck, stagnant, or stalling in our journeys as we become our best self. Listeners, with today's topic, talking about ways to deepen friendship in our relationships. So this one is for you couples. But before we jump too far into things, I always want to throw a shout out to Built for Mental Wellness. If you're looking to start your therapy journey, make sure that you are going to builtformentalwellness.com and grabbing that free 15-minute consultation. Some of the areas they work with is anxiety, depression, trauma, relationship issues, and even better, they work in a virtual setting. So you can definitely pop up there, get that free consultation if you're in the state of North Carolina and you're ready to start your therapy. But as we jump into today's topic about deepening friendship in our relationships, this is something that we do not always talk about, and it definitely does not get enough attention in our romantic relationships. Think about it, friendship. I have been working in mental health for over a decade, working with couples and families and individuals. And what I can tell you, I often do not hear someone say, I'm here because I want to work on my friendship with my partner. It's generally, we need better communication. I need to understand you. I get a lot of that, but I don't always hear friendship. And so today, that's what the episode will be about. We're going to talk about that heartbeat, which is that friendship as we're building that healthy romantic relationship in that area of development in our life, because it's going to be the glue that's going to keep you together long after your butterflies start to fade. And in my preparation for really thinking about what area to bring and talk about with you listeners today, what I found is there is a lot of information out there about friendship. And so we'll break down a few areas today, talking about how you have better shared experiences, how you're better responsive to your partners, and of course, making sure we always talk about communication. Whenever we're doing anything with couples, underneath the fabric of everything is that intentionality behind the things that we're saying and doing. And so that effort will not go unnoticed. Now, one powerful way to deepen your friendship and your relationship is to just engage in experiences that you can share together. And couples who have mastered being able to do new things together, even if it's slightly challenging, they tend to feel a lot more connected with each other. And the reason for that is because of novelty. Doing something new and adventurous actually can set off a series of things to happen within your body to release those feel-good chemicals, those happy hormones, things such as dopamine. And those are the things that we normally experience with our partners very early in the relationship, and it begins to fizzle out. But doing things that are new and novel to one another keeps that feel-good hormone going. So just think about it. When was the last time that you and your partner really did something new? Not that we had to do it, but purely because I enjoyed doing it. And we rediscovered something about either ourselves, our habits, or the dynamic that we held between us. Now, I'm not telling you to go out there and do something that you are terrified to do. Like, you will not find me going out to go skydive. That's not my novel experience that I want to have. But maybe that is finding some way to do a trip to a place you've never been. It could be something like trying a new recipe together, doing something to get yourself moving, dancing, taking a class together. And so today we're talking about how do we truly deepen that friendship? And when we do those things with one another, we also have to have the second thing, which is being responsive. So this means when my partner's asking for connection, then I have to respond with said connection. And this is very, very powerful because it's telling you how engaged, how connected your partner is to you. When I reach, you reach back. It's that reciprocal give and take. And over time, I'll start to predict that responsiveness out of you. So for couples, remember, it's going to be those small things, not those huge grand gestures that's going to build friendship and give you some type of foundation to stand on. So the very two things here, finding something to be able to do together that builds that novelty within your relationship. We're doing something new and fresh, but also making sure that when your partner is trying to get a bid for your attention, that you are responding. So don't go anywhere. You are tuned in to Mental Breakthrough, where I'm your host, Zandy Evans. We'll be right back after the commercial break.
Are you suffering with overthinking habits, uncomfortable thoughts or feelings? And are your relationships struggling because of it? Talk today with Built for Mental Wellness. Built for Mental Wellness provides therapy online to individuals, couples, and families across the state of North Carolina. For more information, go to builtformentalwellness.com and sign up today, because wellness is at your fingertips.
Welcome back to Mental Breakthrough, and I'm your host, Zandy Evans, licensed marriage and family therapist. We have been talking about deepening friendship in our relationships. And so the first part of today's episode, we really touched on how to build more novel experiences. So those new and exciting things within your relationship, but also respond better to your partner. On this side of the break, we're talking about intentionality. And there's been a few times that we really hit on intentionality, because intentionality is the way that we're going to set any type of discipline to accomplish things that are important to us. And so one way to do this is through what in my field we call love maps. And this is a term that's been coined by Gottman. And so if you're not familiar with Gottman has done a lot of research and provides a lot of education behind couples and connection. And what he talks about is ways of understanding your partner and their inner world by having better conversation surrounding their dreams, what stresses them out, what they're afraid of, what are their goals. And so the challenge is your partner is always changing. And that's what you want to keep in the back of your mind, that just because when I met you at this point and at that time does not mean that that's exactly where you stayed. So people continue to move and experience life and have new experiences outside of their partner that still holds an impact on them. And if we're not consistently updating each other on what's happening within our life, then our love map is outdated. And therefore, you want to make that space to have really meaningful check-ins, and not just ones that talk about the logistics of how maybe our household work or how we should parent together, how we could have a better communication surrounding our finances. We just need to be able to check in with truly, how was your day? What was something that was challenging about your day? Was there something that has been on your mind more now than in the past? It's just, as a partners, we want to try to build some type of curiosity so that we can stay connected, in tune with our partners in more of not just physical, but also emotional ways. And I also want to throw out to you listeners, if you are in a relationship and your partner comes home and they're telling you something that's very exciting for them, there has been something that's happened in their world, in their space, that excited them. Studies are finding that how you respond to your partner when they receive good news, or what they perceive to be good news, not you pulling in the things that make you afraid or how it could impact the relationship. No, none of those things. Just responding to what your partner feels is good news will impact even more than if they gave you bad news. So all I'm suggesting here is, if your partner has had any type of win that they feel is a win, do not just brush it off as a quick moment. I want you to ask about context, saying what happened right before, what was going on, when it happened, how did you react? I want you to reinforce how connected they feel, their joy in that moment, to the point that if you close your eyes, it's almost like you were there. These moments of when someone has a win is too good to pass up. If I cannot tell someone about my win, and it's so powerful that if they close their eyes, they can vividly picture as if they were there with me. You should not only be able to do that for someone's moments of pain, but definitely for moments of hope, moments where they felt recognized. We should be a people that can really invest not only in pain, but in moments of pure joy, the purest moments of joy, and not allow feelings that are uncomfortable to steal those away or not allow you to have a full moment of celebration. The reality can come next. It can. If there are things that you want to make sure you talk about, absolutely. But at the same time, do not steal the joy from the room. As always, I say this within different contexts. So if this is a context that you're like, this could apply to me, I want you to make the application. However, if this is something where you're like, I don't know, then do more research, share your questions with me, and we'll go back to the drawing board with it. But this is what studies have found, that being able to show that you are a part of someone's win holds way more impact than when they're sharing bad news with you. So that's the black and white of it right there. And the rest of it we know is gray, because that's how life is. It's gray. Now, lastly here, one other area that I want to talk about on how you can deepen your friendship within your partnership is to not underestimate the power of a routine, and not just any old routine, your routine for connecting with each other. So yes, I am talking about dating. You do not have to make dating complicated. You do not have to make it super fancy. Your routine is the intentional way that I'm spending my quality time with you, the intentional way that I'm investing my effort with you. It's the thing that I hang my hat on. I know for a fact that we will do this thing every week at this particular day and time. So yes, that can be a date night, but keep in mind, it can be other things too. It could be we make sure we sit down and we started having coffee together. And so we continue to have coffee together. We started that, so we continue that same routine, because that's where we check in most with each other. And that's when our check-in is richest. So thinking about what are the times and spaces that I've set aside with my partner where I'm going to have a check-in with my partner without distractions, and it is at its richest. Our richest moments for connection, our richest moments of sharing emotions, thoughts, joy, and you're going to duplicate it. So basically, you're going to nurture it. And that means every single day at this time and on this day of the week, we are going to do that thing and we're going to duplicate it. We are going to do that 52 times in a year, because now it's moving exponentially. And when we do this, we are looking forward to that time with each other. We are anchoring ourselves in a small routine that holds so much possibility for connection. You're building a rhythm of we. Can you hear it? I hear the dance even in my head. It's a rhythm. We have to build it up. We have to build it so that we can hear all the nuances of the sounds. And we don't want this to be chaotic, which is why you want to be able to set days and times of how to truly start this and build on it in a way that's not chaotic and pulls more energy and stress into the relationship, but it should be a release. That I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to having a conversation with you, and to keep this routine, that this is our safe space to be able to just be with one another, which is why it's the dance for we. And some of my couples, I understand you've lost that we-ness. You've lost that connection. And this is where I would ask, jump out there, talk to Built for Mental Wellness, make appointments. They work with couples, right? But for now, start it. Just start some small routine where you do a small task, doing love maps, asking questions with your partner. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a break, but you're tuned in to Mental Breakthrough. I'm your host, Zandy Evans. We will be back after the commercial break. Here's your mental health tip of the week. One of the fastest ways to deepen friendship is to have consistency with care. So check in even when there's no crisis, listen without trying to fix things, and follow up on what is shared. Feeling remembered builds trust, and trust is what deepens connection. This has been your mental health tip of the week. Continue listening to Mental Breakthrough for more tips.
You're special and you're reckless. bestest friend, yeah, she my bestie. My love for you is endless. Nobody else can end it. And when I get the money back, then baby girl, you can spend it. And everything is alright. I like how you doing alright. Like how you think alright. Always on top, oh yeah. Like how you do it alright. Everything good, alright. Like how you think alright. Always on top, alright, oh yeah. I wanna know it tonight. I wanna be the one to surprise you. Wake you up in the morning. I wanna be the one that you calling. Cause I see you in the future with me. I wanna meet you. Love best friend and be family. I'm the storm in your dream, making wet dreams come true. She know she bad, but I don't bad. She a gunshot that blew my mind. No distance, I come by my side. Everything is green over here. Everything you want and think about. No, I got your back all the way. And everything is alright. I like how you doing alright. Like how you think alright. Always on top, oh yeah. Like how you do it alright. Everything good, alright. Like how you think alright. Always on top, alright, oh yeah. I wanna know it tonight. I wanna be the one to surprise you. Wake you up in the morning. I wanna be the one that you calling. Cause I see you in the future with me. I wanna meet you. Love best friend and be family.
Welcome back to Mental Breakthrough, and I'm your host, Zandy Evans. I hope you've been enjoying today's episode. If so, make sure that you are liking and following my Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok pages at the handle Mental Breakthrough Talk. We've been talking through deepening friendship in our relationship, and there's just a couple more things that I wanted to be able to talk to you about as we get ready to allow today's episode to come to a close. So the final two things that we will talk about is vulnerability and individuality. Now, this is very important if we want to nurture our friendship. So first, let's just talk through vulnerability. And I know I say this word, and there's probably thousands of people that just broke out in hives. I understand why we struggle to be vulnerable. However, it is still something that we need that helps us build intimacy. And so when we are in relationships and we want to have those healthy mental, emotional, physical intimacy and be able to have those boundaries, we have to be able to understand how we're going to showcase vulnerability in our relationship. And therefore, the better that you build this, it will start to reveal those things that's happening internally for you. So that inner world, the things that we fear, the things that we hope, where we feel insecure, but very important here also, value. The things that are important to you, the people that's important to you. And so it does not happen accidentally. You do not wake up and accidentally roll into being vulnerable with your partner. No, you must create a safe space in order to allow it to go deeper so that you can start to nurture and take care of these different aspects of you and your partner. And one way that we can really do this is starting to maybe just purchase some different couple games. One of the things I like for couples to be able to play even during couples therapy is the game. And it's basically just questions. So when you have a chance, you can sit down and say, hey, let's talk through a couple of these questions over dinner. No pressure there. Just finding ways to ask questions that matter, questions that will allow your partner to understand that they can feel safe with you. And if you're asking that and if you're encouraging them to do this, remember that you do have to hold space to allow them to feel safe. This means that when you get those vulnerable admissions and disclosures from your partner, that it does not turn into a weapon later. So just keeping in mind that as you build up this friendship, the first thing in friendship is that we're finding out ways to hold safe spaces for our friends, and we don't betray our friends by sharing the things that are their inner world to others. So today, right now, get with your partner, ask them, what's a dream that they had to let go of? Or what's something that you rarely tell someone, but you wish people knew about you? Start to reawaken parts in your partner that you haven't seen in a while. and allow them to do the same for you. Now, the last part of today's episode will talk about individuality, how your partner can support that individual growth. And the reason being is because couples that really encourage each other's personal development, so my individual goals that I have for myself, what I'm doing with my schooling, how I want to see myself excel in different areas of my life, that also helps you to become closer, because that support of someone else's dream, that encouragement, being that cheerleader, doing little things to make them aware that you are on the same page for them, it makes them feel immensely special. And it sends the message that you love them just the way they are, who they are, but also who they desire to become. And that type of support in any relationship is a launching pad for a rocket. It's not a prison cell to hold you back. So, over today's episode, we have touched on a few ways to be able to deepen your friendship. And I hope that that is something that you're going to take on as a project for how you can be better with your chosen other. So I thank you, listeners, for spending your time with me on this Friday afternoon. And I hope that today's episode sparks something in you to try to revisit and consider sharing that with your partner. Consider sharing that with a friend. Consider sharing this episode, remembering that if you missed it, you can always catch reruns at mentalbreakthrough.org, and also a few other helpful tidbits and tools on the site. As always, we love being able to help couples, and we enjoy being able to do outreach and workshops. And so if you're feeling generous, be sure that you hit that donate button up there as well. As we get ready to close out today's episode, just know that without you, there is not a mental breakthrough. Remember to check out Built for Mental Wellness at the website builtformentalwellness.com. Be sure that you're tuning in every Friday at noon to hear more from the Mental Breakthrough Show, where I'm your host, Zandy Evans. If you would like to be a guest on the show or you want to advertise, just give me a call at 919-709-7294 or go to the website mentalbreakthrough.org and click on advertising. So listeners, that will be it for today's show. But until next week, continue to be blessed and break your pain points with some breakthrough talk.